Welcome to the longest running quiz show in the area. Categories. High school students compete to answer questions on topics from art to science, history to current events. And now, here's your categories host, John Bartell.
Welcome to Categories. Today we have a great matchup between the Shawnee Mission North Indians, coached by Evan Brandt, versus the Shawnee Mission South Raiders, coached by Tony Bedetti. Let's go ahead and meet our contestants first from Shawnee Mission North.
Hi, I'm Braden, and I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Brian Blood, and I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Wyatt. I'm a freshman.
I'm Brian Pendleton. I'm a senior.
I'm Logan, and I'm a senior.
And our contestants from Shawnee Mission South.
I'm Elias, and I'm a senior.
I'm Naomi. I'm a senior.
I'm Anna. I'm a senior.
I'm David, and I'm a senior.
I'm Jacob. I'm a senior.
All right, fantastic. Here on Categories in the first round, we will take turns answering questions from different categories. If a team answers correctly, they will earn a point for their team. If they answer incorrectly, the other team will get a chance to steal. We did a coin toss before we started recording. It was won by Shawnee Mission North, so Indians. Here is the first question, and it's general knowledge is the category. Would you find Queen Anne's lace in a meadow, on a dress, in the Tower of London? Logan. In a meadow. It's a flower. Raiders, over to you with fine arts and film. What was the name of the Good Witch of the North in The Wizard of Oz?
Glenda the Good Witch.
Glenda the Good Witch, very good. Go over to you, Indians. U.S. government is the category. The right of teachers and students to express their ideas in a classroom or in writing without political, religious, or institutional restrictions, even if these ideas are unpopular, is specifically known as what? Brian.
Freedom of expression.
Cannot accept freedom of expression. Raiders, you have a chance to steal this U.S. government category. The right of teachers and students to express their ideas in a classroom or in writing without political, religious, or institutional restrictions, even if these ideas are unpopular, is specifically known as what? Elias?
Freedom of speech.
Cannot accept freedom of speech. We're looking for academic freedom. Academic freedom. Raiders, staying with you. Geography is the category. Which of the following cities is located farthest north of the equator? Is it Columbus, Ohio, Rome, Italy, Tokyo, Japan, or Sacramento, California? Jacob.
Columbus, Ohio.
It is not Columbus. Indians, chance to steal this geography question. Which of the following cities is located farthest north of the equator? Columbus, Ohio, Rome, Italy, Tokyo, Japan, or Sacramento, California? Wyatt.
Rome, Italy.
It is Rome, Italy. Staying with you, Indians. Science, anatomy. Our backbone is made up of separate parts called vertebrae. Thoracic and lumbar are in the upper and lower back. What do we call the vertebrae in the neck? Time on that. Raiders, chance to steal this science anatomy question. Our backbone is made up of separate parts called vertebrae. Thoracic and lumbar are in the upper and lower back. What do we call the vertebrae in the neck? Anna. Cervical. Those are cervical. Very good. Raiders, staying with you. U.S. history is the question. What creation did fashion designer Louis Reard unveil to the world 4 days after a July 1st, 1946 mid-Pacific atomic test? Anna?
Bikini.
Bikini. Coming back to you, Indians, literature is the category. Identify this hero of fiction. To be sure he'd keep sailing along where the sirens tried to seduce him, he put wax into his ears of his crew and bound himself to the mast. Name him. Braden, I see you're ringing in.
Odysseus.
Odysseus, very good. Back over to you, Raiders. Mathematics is the category. I will read it twice. Translate the following Roman numeral. DCCXLIX. Once again, DCCXLIX. Time. Indians, chance to steal this mathematics question. I will read it twice. Translate the following Roman numeral. DCCXLIX. Once again, oh, Brian.
749.
749 is what we're looking for. Indians, staying with you, sports is the category. The Indianapolis 500 used to start with the command, gentlemen, start your engines. The word gentleman has been replaced with what more inclusive term? Brian?
Drivers.
Drivers, start your engines. Very good. Back over to you, South. Language is the category. What is the positive form of the Latin superlative adjective optimus? Time. Indians, you have a chance to steal this language category. What is the positive form of the Latin superlative adjective optimus? Brian?
Optima.
Not optima, bonus. Bonus. Staying with you, Indians, current events is the category. On January 5th, following the assassination of an Iranian commander, the parliament in which neighboring country called for an end to all U.S. Brian?
Iraq.
Iraq did, yes. Raiders, coming back over to you, children's literature. Where did Dr. Dolittle travel to? We're looking for a continent. Elias.
Asia.
Not Asia. Indians, chance to steal this children's literature question. Where did Dr. Dolittle travel to? Logan?
Antarctica.
We're looking for Africa. Africa. North, you still have you do get the next category, which is U.S. history. Where did Davy Crockett die? Brian.
The Alamo.
He died at the Alamo. South, back to you. Sports and games. Who was the first U.S. volleyball player to win 3 Olympic gold medals? Elias.
Is it Sandy J? Sandra J?
I cannot accept that. Indians, you have a chance to steal this sports and games category. Who was the first U.S. volleyball player to win 3 Olympic gold medals? Brian?
Misty May Trainer.
It's not Misty May Trainer. It's Karch Karai. Karch Karai. Indians, staying with you, mathematics is the category. What would be the length of each edge of a cube if the volume of the cube is numerically equal to the total surface area of the cube? Time. Raiders, chance to steal this mathematics question. What would be the length of each edge of a cube if the volume of the cube is numerically equal to the total surface area of the cube? David?
1.
Sorry, the answer is 6. 6. Raiders, we are staying with you. Current events is the category. Julian Castro, a former mayor of which Texas city, dropped out of the 2020 Democratic presidential race? Anna?
El Paso.
It is not El Paso. Indians, chance to steal this current events category. Julian Castro, a former mayor of which Texas city, dropped out of the 2020 Democratic presidential race? Wyatt?
San Antonio.
It is San Antonio. Staying with you, North, language is the category. Which 6 letters of the English alphabet are most used? Hint, 4 are vowels, 2 are consonants. Brian?
A, E, I, O, N, and R.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Raiders, chance to steal this language category. Which 6 letters of the English alphabet are most used? Hint, 4 are vowels and 2 are consonants. Jacob?
A, E, I, O, M, and
A, E, I, and O are correct. S and T are the other 2. South, we are staying with you. General knowledge is the category. Balconies overlooking the street in the French Quarter have railings made of what? Anna?
Iron.
Iron. Very good. Back to you, Indians. Music is the category. What member of the lute family is essential to both Neapolitan orchestra and a bluegrass band? Brian P.
Banjo.
Not the banjo. Raiders, chance to steal this music category. What member of the lute family is essential to both a Neapolitan orchestra and a bluegrass band? Anna?
Fiddle.
Not the fiddle, mandolin, the mandolin. Raiders, we are staying with you. Government and economics is the category. Name one right only for U.S. citizens. Elias?
The right to vote.
Right to vote, very good. Back to you, Indians. Geography is the category. Name the Canadian province bordering on 4 of the 5 Great Lakes. Wyatt?
Ontario.
It is Ontario. Back to you, Raiders. Science, physics. In modern physics, what elemental unit of energy derives its name from the Latin word meaning how much? Jacob?
A watt.
It is not a watt. Indians, you have a chance to steal this science and physics category. In modern physics, what elemental unit of energy derives its name from the Latin word meaning how much? Brian?
The joule.
It's not joule, it's quantum. Quantum. Indians, we're staying with you. U.S. geography. Into which body of water does the Columbia River empty into? Wyatt?
Pacific Ocean.
It is the Pacific Ocean. Back over to you, Raiders. British history. Modern heart surgery owes much to the experiments of William Harvey, the court physician of which British monarch? Time. North, chance to steal this British history question. Modern heart surgery owes much to the experiments of William Harvey, the court physician of which British monarch? Brian.
Elizabeth II.
James I. James I. Indians, we are staying with you. Poetry is the category. Name the prominent 19th century poet and critic who first translated the works of Edgar Allan Poe into French. Logan.
Baudelaire.
It is Baudelaire. And you got that answer in right before the sound of our first round. So we have at the end of our first round a score of Shawnee Mission North 10 to Shawnee Mission South 5. At this part of our program, we are going to go to campus updates. As a member of each team will tell us what's going in and around their high school. And first we have Logan from the Shawnee Mission North Indians. Logan, what's happening over on Johnson Drive?
So we have a lot of progress on our winter musical All Shook Up going on right now. Practice is well underway. We also have winter sports going on now with swim team just finishing a fundraiser called 100 100s. And then we also have NHS who will be hosting a fundraiser coming up for Unleashed Animal Shelter by selling pancakes around early February.
All right, fantastic. So lots of good things and a good heart of service over at Shawnee Mission North. Good stuff. All right, Elias, you're giving us the update for Shawnee Mission South, so what's happening with the Raiders?
Currently at Shawnee Mission South, we're finishing construction of our new black box theater, which will be adjacent to our current theater at the front of the building. And our theater department is working on Mamma Mia, which is our winter musical. Our winter sports are well underway. Boys swim and dive, bowling, girls and boys basketball, and wrestling. And multiple members of our swim and dive team have already qualified to state.
All right, good stuff. All right, and that state competition is usually around spring break, is that right? All right.
I believe so.
All right, excellent. All right, as we head into our second round, it is the lightning round in which questions are placed on the floor for either team to answer. Same rules apply. If a team guesses incorrectly, the other team will get a chance to steal. Of course, if they answer correctly, they get a point for their squad. All right, so we're going to start off with our traditional look and listen question, which is worth 2 points. And so here we go. Where will you end up after entering this structure? Elias.
The Louvre.
The Louvre, that is correct, and 2 points awarded to Shawnee Mission South. All right, here we go with the rest of our lightning round. First category is science, specifically the atmosphere. Solar, ultraviolet, and X radiation produce which layer of the Earth's atmosphere? That's the ionosphere. The ionosphere. Often forgotten. Government is the next category for both teams. In which Israeli city do most countries maintain their embassy? Braden.
Jerusalem.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. South, chance to steal. David.
Tel Aviv.
It is Tel Aviv. Fine arts, music. What piece did Maurice Ravel compose for dancer Ida Rubinstein? Bolero. Bolero. Language, specifically grammar, is the next category for both teams. What is the difference between a transitive and an intransitive verb? A transitive verb takes on an object, where intransitive does not. Famous places for both teams. What record does the Palace of Governors in Santa Fe, New Mexico hold? Elias.
Most seats in a House of Government.
Cannot accept that. Indians, chance to steal this famous places category. What record does the Palace of Governors in Santa Fe, New Mexico hold? It's the oldest public building in the United States, built in 1606. U.S. history for both teams. Name the mountain range in which the Donner Party was trapped during the winter snows. Brian B.
The Rockies.
It is not the Rockies. Raiders, chance to steal this U.S. history question. Anna?
Sierra Nevada.
Sierra Nevada. Okay, the next question is our team theme huddle question, in which the teams will be able to huddle up to answer 2 questions. The team captain is the one that's responsible for ringing it and giving both answers to both questions, and both questions must be correct in order for the squad to receive both points. So here we go, both questions. Question 1, and the category is World War II. Question 1, this North American country declared war on Germany September 10th, 1939. Question 2, this unsinkable German battleship went down in the East Atlantic on May 27th, 1941. Elias.
What are Canada and the Bismarck?
Those are the 2. Very good. And I did like your spin on putting what is on that. Very nice. Yeah, yeah. Mathematics is the next category. Here we go. Factor W squared minus 6W minus 27. Jacob.
W minus 9 times W plus 3.
That is the correct factorization. And you've taken a 1-point lead here, 12 to 11. Shakespeare is the next category. Complete this line uttered by Mark Antony at Caesar's funeral oration. And here we go with the quote. But Brutus says he was ambitious and... Logan?
Greedy.
Cannot accept that. Raiders, chance to steal the Shakespeare category. Complete this line uttered by Mark Antony at Caesar's funeral oration. Here we go. Quote, but Brutus says he was ambitious and... Brutus is an honorable man. Sports for both teams. Which Olympic sport was once known as water ballet? Brian?
Synchronized swimming.
Synchronized swimming. Government and economics. What is the primary role of the United States Foreign Service? Brian?
They're representatives in embassies of the State Department.
Very good. Embassies is the key word we were looking for. Current events for both teams. Experts ranked which diet the best overall health and sustainability for a third year in a row? Is it the Mediterranean, Paleo, Jenny Craig, or Keto? Elias.
Is it keto?
It is not the keto. Indians, you have a chance to steal this current events category. Experts ranked which diet as the best for overall health and sustainability for a third year in a row? Is it the Mediterranean, the Paleo, Jenny Craig, or Keto? Brian?
Mediterranean.
It is the Mediterranean. Science, elements is the next category. What is the number of electrons in the outer shell of the noble gas family of elements? Logan?
8.
It is 8. Fine arts, theater. Which opera features the dance of the 7 veils? Salome or Salome? Science, species. The largest type of penguin is known as the... Oh, Braden, yes.
Emperor.
Emperor penguin. A lot of people knew that one. Government and economics is the next category. What type of sanctions typically involve actions against embassies, diplomats, or other foreign nationals on foreign soil? Elias?
What are extradition?
Cannot accept that. North, you have a chance to steal this government and economics question. What type of sanctions typically involve action against embassies, diplomats, or other foreign nationals on foreign soil? Brian?
Passe comitatus.
Cannot accept that either. We're looking just for diplomatic sanctions. Diplomatic sanctions. General knowledge for both teams. Acupuncture treatment is performed with what instruments? Brian?
Needles.
Needles. World history for both teams. Name the author who founded the International Working Men's Association and wrote Das Kapital while living. Brian?
Karl Marx.
Karl Marx. World history for both teams. First it was called St. Petersburg, then Petrograd, then Leningrad, and now it's St. Petersburg again. Name any one year during which it was called Petrograd. Jacob?
1838.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Indians, chance to steal this world history question. First it was called St. Petersburg, then Petrograd, then Leningrad, and now it's back to St. Petersburg again. Name any one year during which the city was called. Brian?
1919.
1919, right in the middle. Yep, from 1914 to 1924. World geography. Its Spanish name means White House. Name this. Elias.
Casablanca.
Casablanca, very good. Language for both teams. In Italian, this means in a low voice or under one's breath. What's this expression? Sotto voce. Sotto voce. Fine arts, painters. How did the Musée Picasso in Paris come to own its collection of Picasso's works? Multiple choice. It's confiscated back from art thieves, death tax, donation from Picasso's estranged widow, or bought piece by piece at auction. David.
Bought piece by piece at auction.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Indians, you have a chance to steal this fine arts painters category. How did the Musée Picasso in Paris come to own its collection of Picasso works? Was it confiscated back from art thieves, death tax, donation from Picasso's estranged widow, or bought piece by piece at auction? Brian.
Confiscated from art thieves.
Death tax. Death tax. Science for both teams. Bauxite is the source of aluminum. What substance is the chief commercial source of uranium and radium? It's called pitchblende. Pitchblende. Literature for both teams, starting off with a quote. In my younger and more vulnerable years, my father gave me some advice that I've been turning over in my mind ever since. Which book by F. Scott Fitzgerald opens with this sentence? David.
The Great Gatsby.
The Great Gatsby. Are there any F. Scott Fitzgerald books different than Gatsby? I don't know. All right, geography. Islands. In what time zone are the U.S. Virgin Islands located? They're in the Atlantic time zone. U.S. history. This Indian tribe engaged mainly in agriculture as an occupation. Some well-known members of this tribe include Pocahontas, Powhatan, Massasoit. Brian.
The Iroquois?
It is the, I'm sorry, I cannot accept that. Apologize. Raiders, you have a chance to steal this. This Indian tribe engaged mainly in agriculture as an occupation. Some well-known members of the tribe include Pocahontas, Powhatan, Massasoit, Pontiac, Tecumseh, and King Philip. They occupied the North Atlantic coast and eventually they extended into the Midwest. Name the tribe. David.
Shawnee.
They're not the Shawnee, the Algonquin. The Algonquin. I misread my own card on that one. Sorry, Brian. General knowledge for both teams. Traditionally, there are the same number of natural virtues as there are deadly sins. What is the number? Elias.
7.
It is 7. Fine arts, sculpture. The marble slab that eventually became Michelangelo's David was originally intended as a statue of what famous character? Was it Solomon, Hercules, Cleopatra, or Medusa? Jacob?
Solomon.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. North, chance to steal this fine arts and sculpture question. The marble slab that eventually became Michelangelo's David was originally intended as a statue of what famous character? Was it Solomon, Hercules, Cleopatra, or Medusa? Braden?
Hercules.
Hercules is the correct answer. And like you did in the first half, that you answered that question right at the end of our game with a final score here. I want to say, did we get that added on there? All right, Shawnee Mission North with a final score of 20 and Shawnee Mission South 15. Congratulations to both teams for a well-played match, and please join us again next time here on Categories as we will continue to bring you the best and brightest minds of high school students all throughout Johnson County.